Well, did you guys see how the Giants lowered their beer? Like, I think honestly, that's like kind of a starting point. Is if they want to get more fans, just kind of lower the price points. Like, make it a little more family friendly. Because if you're going there with three kids, it's like you're
Yeah, I think
dropping.
I think they're lowering their beer prices from like I think like about 12 to 9 or something.
Yeah.
Like
14 to 9, something like that. I mean,
14 to 9,
it
yeah,
was
something.
their
They're
beers
probably
are
making them smaller too, but
yeah, not by much. I mean, actually, yeah, they are, but still, it's something that's probably hey. Any way to get people back in that ballpark is huge. Their attendance has really tanked the past little bit
Dude,
too.
yeah, San Francisco's been hurting
it
too.
has, and and prices at baseball games have grown a lot faster than prices everywhere else. I'll like when I started vending in 2005 in Chicago, I think the beers were like it was 16 ounces. I think it was like $4.50 for a beer, right? And that was only 2005.
Glory
Uh,
days. Glory days.
so everything's grown a lot. But I think it also, and not to, I don't think we want to make this another, Howard Terminal Las Vegas podcast, but one thing that I think it really brings home to me is the Giants are struggling in attendance. Last year
Yeah.
they had a lot of trouble putting people in the seats, and the year before they'd won 107 games. And I think one big issue here, and the A's are also a victim of this, is the work from home
Yeah.
in the Bay Area. If
Sure.
people are working from home, they're not leaving their suburbs. They're not coming downtown. They're not saying, "Oh, well, I'll stay late after work and see a game." If they're just, then they're thinking, oh, I just did a long day's work, out in Walnut Creek, or even farther, out in Antioch or something, and now I got to think about driving into Oakland for a night game. Yeah, I think that that's probably, I mean, there's a lot of things causing those 800 person games at the Coliseum last
Oh, I mean,
season.
also last year still, even last year, COVID was still a thing that was
Yep.
very much talked about in the media, and I think also scared a lot of people away as well. So I mean, it's just even though I mean the Coliseum had enough spacious opportunities, you go to third deck if you want to get away from anybody because nobody was up there. Even though those hey, but hey, those seats
The
suck in the
safest,
third
it's the
deck.
safest place
Hey,
in the
there was
Bay
two
Area if you
people.
wanted to
There was
socially
two.
distance.
Yeah, there was two people. There's two people up there.
And they
At
weren't so
least.
hey, they weren't socially distant. They were having a good old time up in that third deck.
Yeah. But yeah, I think also like the Bay Area, like San Francisco is such a digital city. Like all those offices were for people who just work for tech companies, so they can just do that. It's not like they were doing something with their hands that they need to go there and like go to downtown anymore. So it's like, yeah, I wonder if the A see that too, and it kind of worries them, like, oh shit, maybe we're gonna have trouble drawing even with the new stadium.
I would be,
Yeah,
to be honest, I would be if I was Dave Cavill and John Fisher. I think that would be another sort of strike where it'd be like, oh, well, if I can sort of figure out a way to make it Vegas instead of Oakland, but
yeah.
I think it's impossible to predict the future, because any new stadium is still like 4 or 5 years off. So who knows?
No, it's still a long way away, and you never know what may fix by then, change by then. Yeah, the world's crazy. You never know what's gonna happen. I mean, heck, we never thought 2020 would ever happen, and look what happened. So I mean, it's crazy times in this crazy world. But hey, as long as we'll see what happens, I think the attendance for the A's this year will get better, hopefully.
Yeah.
But it's just they've got to maybe lower ticket prices down a bit, bring back some sort of ticket deal like we had, just to encourage fans to come back.
Yeah.
I mean, the Giants are trying. The Giants are trying their stuff. So
Yep.
the A's to try to throw something out there as well. But and the other hard part is maybe the A's have one foot out the door and they're just trying to do whatever they can to get rid of what attendance we got. So I mean, this is
Yeah.
like you never know.
Yeah,
All
I
right, well,
don't.
let's
Yeah.
try and be let's try and be positive here in this fight. Next week will be negative again.
Yeah.
What are you excited about for this upcoming season? What are you
Oh,
excited about for the team, and what are you excited about just being back in right field?
oh, all the young kids. I mean, we've got a lot of guys. I mean, we got a glut of outfielders. I'm not how they're going to decide who's going to be on the team, who's not going to be team via the outfielders. I mean, you've got Brent Rooker, you've got Esteury Ruiz, you've got Connor Capel had a great year last year.
Dude, I'm all about Ruiz. I like Ruiz a lot, dude. I think he's gonna
Oh,
be
that
really
speed!
good,
That
dude.
speed alone. I mean,
Yeah.
80 stolen bases last year at AAA. That guy's gonna run. That guy's gonna
But
do
he's got a
great.
good eye. He's got power. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's only minor leagues, but I think he had 66 walks and 94 strikeouts last year for a minor leaguer. That's like impressive. He had
That's good
16.
percentage. Absolutely. I mean, he's
Yes.
got stuff that's
Yeah.
good. Infield, well, I mean, there's just a lot of talent. This team actually has stuff where you're like, you can see the core kind of trying to build again. You got stuff I think it is going to make people want to come to the ballpark. And then just being back in the bleachers, I mean, that's home sweet home. I love being out there with everybody again. That's nothing better. Even if it's 55 degrees or 85 degrees, I'm happy to be out that stadium and just enjoying life, enjoying baseball. There's nothing better than the Coliseum. Hearing the drums, hearing the cowbells, hearing jerks like me yelling stuff at the outfielders and getting middle fingers and all that from the guys. I mean, it's a good time. I can't wait to be out there again and just enjoying the game I love and with people I care about and love as well.
I say this to, everyone I meet who's like, who hasn't been to an A's game. I also say this to people who haven't been to an Oakland Roots game, who are coming up, and we should talk more about that on a future pod. But
dude, I need to go to more. I've only been to one Roots game. I got to go to more Roots games.
Yeah.
Only one Roots game for me as well.
The most unique part, I think, about the Coliseum is right field. We have like a cheering section, a rooting section, and if you're listening and you bring your kid or you bring yourself and you wanna be a kid, go out to right field. Say hi to Will. Will talk to you. Everyone out there will talk to you, but ask any of the people with the drums if you can have an inning on the drums, and they'll hand you their sticks, no problem, and you can spend an inning. Hell
yeah.
There was one game last season. I think it was like maybe there was also a Roots game or something or some else, and there were no drummers there for the entire game. And the first 2 innings, I was like, something is horribly wrong. I don't understand what's happening. And then I realized there was no drummers, and I was like, this is so wrong. But yeah,
it feels different.
I remember that day. I had to hop on the drums for a bit. That was a terrible decision. You don't want me doing that. I have no rhythm. Anyway, I'm bad at it, terribly bad at it. But I'm like,
they're there 81 out of 82 games a year. Hopefully.
Well, yeah.
So I mean, I get to drum. I drum maybe once or twice a year, and it's I drummed twice last season, and I'm one of the games I broke a stick. That tells you how great of a drummer I am. So, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, you were talking about like lowering ticket prices. I was just curious to see like what an average price is. So I looked at like the Monday. I think that they play the Guardians after that Angels opening series, and that Monday, like seats from $149, it's like $23 for a ticket. And I'm like, dude, those tickets should be like $10 or $15 for.
They should be.
They really should. I think they're losing people with their price points. Like, because I don't know, if I go there for 10 or $15, I could use that extra $13 to $8 on a beer. It would be much more appealing to me as opposed to just the ticket,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're not wrong on that whatsoever. I mean, I remember after the pandemic season when they had the 2019 season tickets, and we were like, cool, it was maybe, I think we were paying maybe $1,100 for our season tickets. I'm like, cool, I'll be expecting the same thing, no big deal, yada yada. So I opened the email and it says $2,000. I'm like, huh.
How much is it now for season tickets there?
$2,000.
$2,000. So what does that break down to a game? Like $13-14 a game or something like that?
It's about $20 a game, I believe, or something like that.
Wow.
It something along those lines. I'm not sure exactly. All I know is it's more expensive than I want it to be.
2,000 divided by 82 is $24.39.
That's crazy, dude. It's like
basically only reason why I still pay it is I have my seat guaranteed. So it's the same seat I've sat in since 2005. I'm grateful for that. But it's just like, man, you're charging us that much for after you trade. Last year was trading Bassett, Manaea, and letting Canna walk and all those guys, and now you're trading Morton, Sean Murphy, and everything else. We're still having to pay all that. It's like
it'd almost be cheaper to just buy tickets that you actually go to. Like it's like they almost like take the incentive out of having season tickets.
I knew numerous season ticket holders in the the behind, not in the outfield, but behind the home plate area, who told me. Well, first of all, I've seen a number of season ticket holders that I haven't seen in since COVID now. Or since 2021, they dropped off. But others have told me near the end of last year, were telling me we're not going to renew. We're just going to, because they could see on StubHub that, they were paying $60, per ticket, and the tickets next to them were going for $30, on StubHub. So they were like,
oh, easy.
Why am I doing this? I can still go to as many games as I want on StubHub. So
No, it's and then you can probably still sit where you want to sit too, because most of the nights it's come dressed as a seat, get in free nights. So I mean, it's just it's
I think it's almost like they need to get really, really creative within stadium. Just make it like a really fun vibe. Like almost go full minor league, just like
honestly, they should.
I couldn't agree more. I think
like more.
I tried to talk to some people about this, but I we'll see. I mean, I'm really hopeful just with the Tiny Mike interviews that they'll do some more interesting stuff, because I think the cardinal sin of the Coliseum last year was, not that there were higher prices, because okay, and not that they got rid of everybody, because that's the cycle that they're trying to do, but it just was boring. They didn't have, they had the
the big head racers like disappeared
5 times.
Yeah, they didn't have them very much last year.
They had them like 5 times.
Yeah.
And
like little things like that actually make it like people want to. That's what they come to the game for. You know,
we bet money on those damn games. We bet money on that in the bleachers with the big head races. I mean, that's fun stuff right there.
It's fun. It's fun. I mean, I don't know how. If it costs them $500 to run the big head races, like, I don't know what they're doing, man. Like, and I
mean, how much can it be to hire those 3 people?
They only had Cara there for Friday, Saturday, Sunday games.
Yeah.
So they had to have so there was nobody emceeing.
Yeah, basically they made Amelia do it basically.
Yeah, they had like occasionally they would have like interviews of the players, which they do, I think, during spring training. But it was very clear that they had just sort of done it the last second. They only had 3 of them, and it was like name as many colors as you can, go. And what do you like in your hot dog? It was like, it's more interesting things.
Yeah,
saw those videos about 15 times each last year. It was like, oh my god, we get it. We know
every
that
time Tony Kemp would say, I just put ketchup on my hot dog, my heart would break. Let's try a different video, guys. But
hey, Hal, what do you put on your hot dog? Hal, what do you put on your hot dog?
Oh, every whenever I need a snack at the end of the game, I'll put different stuff on it, just whatever I'm feeling.
You're doing a little experimentation.
I never ever put ketchup on it. All right.
Are you serious? Is that a cardinal sin? Is that a cardinal sin? Can you not do that?
This is a Chicago thing, right? Like, I think when you turn like 12 in Chicago, you no longer eat thin crust pizza. And you no longer put ketchup on your hot dog. It's like a very important.
I was loyal to the just ketchup only. And then I graduated to ketchup and mustard, and I like onions, but I'm pretty casual. I'm a pretty casual,
Just ketchup. That's childish. That's childish.